Hey guys, welcome to another Start Save Sports video. Today we'll be doing a 10-team PPR draft. This is just a mock draft. I'm gonna have pick three, and we're gonna look to draft the best team I can possible. Today we're gonna be looking at guys like Bijan Robinson, Jamar Chase, Saquon, Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round, and then in the following rounds we're gonna be looking at just stacking receivers and running backs and hoping for the best team. We'll see where the board falls. Today's been not much NFL news outside of Quinshon Judkins still not being signed to a rookie deal, pending his recent arrest, and Tyrann Mathieu has retired from football today. So not too much on the fantasy end, but excited to get in this draft and leave a comment or message if you want to see any other type of videos. I have some ideas coming up for the season, including best bets for each week of the season, where I'll just give like 2 to 3 bets that I like for the week, and then I'll be doing weekly pick'ems. So just picking every game of the season as the season goes along. So on ESPN, just like making a group and choosing what teams win. Um, did solid last year, so definitely want to broadcast at this time on YouTube, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll see how the start of the draft goes at pick three. I'm obviously eyeing Jamar Chase, Bijan, Saquon, or Gibbs. Maybe not Jefferson at three. I don't know if that's the right move. I'm gonna queue him up anyway, but yeah, one of these three guys would be ideal at pick three. Nothing wrong with CD at three as well. CMC maybe a little too high at three, but I do like him a lot this year. So we'll see how the draft board falls. But so yeah, those are some video ideas I have for this channel, as well as ranking videos. So ranking like quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers, not from just a fantasy standpoint, but also just IRL performance for the 2025 season that I'm very excited for. So lots of content coming your way this fall. So we'll see how this draft starts out with the top Chase, Bijan, Barkley, Gibbs, and Jefferson looking out. I think my prediction is it'll be Chase and Bijan gone, and then I'll have the choice of Saquon, Jefferson, or Gibbs. In that case, I'll probably end up taking Saquon. But let's see how this draft plays out. I'm gonna load audio here, but yeah. So Chase, Gibbs goes okay. This is interesting. So Gibbs goes second. I'm gonna go ahead and take Bijan Robinson. Definitely controversial to take him over Saquon, but I think he's poised for RB1 type season. So I picked three. I don't mind that at all. I love Bijan at three. That's right at his value, I think. Saquon going at four, that's a steal for pick four. But I like Bijan a lot enough to take him at three. He's my guy, so I'll end up taking him. And now in round two, I'm really looking at receiver. So if somehow Brian Thomas can fall, somehow McConkey, Drake London, those two guys would be great. I think that's a great start. At London, maybe not with the stack of Bijan, but I think I'd be comfortable with Brian Thomas for sure in round two. Yeah, we'll see how this draft plays out. No surprises so far. McCaffrey going 8, Gentry going 9. I think the only surprise was maybe Saquon falling to 4, where usually you see him at 2 or 3, but it's not a big reach to take Saquon or take Gibbs or Bijan over Saquon. So I think it's fair. We'll see if we get any exciting reaches. I don't think I've seen too many from the previous two drafts, so we'll see how this plays out. Derrick Henry's still available in round two. I highly doubt he'll fall to me, but if he's calling to me at pick 18, I'm taking him for sure. He's one of my value picks at 15 overall in PPR even. I take him at pick 9 or 8, so I think that's value. A chain at pick 4, that's right about his value. Henry goes right before I get to pick. So Brian Thomas still available. I hope he falls to me. If not, I'll pivot and take McConkey. Oh wow, Brian Thomas Jr. falls to round 2, and I'm gonna end up taking him. So I get my receiver 1 and my running back 1. I'll gladly take that start with Brian Thomas Jr. and Bijan Robinson, my first 2 picks. Now I'm looking at McConkey, Bucky Irving, maybe not T. Higgins, but yeah, if I can get McConkey in round 3, I think I'd be very comfortable with that start to a draft. But yeah, this draft is moving quickly. There's some auto picks, so you're going to see some pretty consensus picks from the ADP. So we'll see that. And for the fantasy beginners, ADP is average draft position. So I know most people watching are probably pretty delved into fantasy. So, but just for people who don't know. So yeah, it looks like McConkey did not fall to me, unfortunately. Bucky Irving, however, is still available. I'd be comfortable with Bucky. There's no competition in that Tampa backfield, and I think he'll perform despite not having Tristan Wirfs. Yeah, I think Bucky would be a good pick here. So we're gonna go ahead and do it. We're gonna get 2 running backs early, and get Bucky Irving in round three. I think this team is pretty solid so far. You got my two running backs, um, got a stud receiver, so I'll be happy with that. James Cook would have been a good option too because he gets in the end zone a lot. But I trust Bucky Irving. I'm on the Bucky hype train. Despite the loss of Liam Cohen, I think he'll perform. We'll see how the new offensive coordinator is for the Bucks. That's gonna be a big what if for Tampa this year, especially with the loss of Tristan Wirfs for the start of the season. I think Tampa could be a regression team, but not to the point where they don't make the playoffs. I think Tampa and Atlanta are gonna be fighting for the NFC South crown. So we'll see how that plays out. That's gonna be definitely a close race to monitor. In terms of division races, I think that could be competitive. The NFC North obviously will be competitive with the Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears all fighting. I think three of those teams could definitely win the division. The Bears, I'm not too sure about year one, but I think I could see some them being a tough out for sure in year one of the Ben Johnson era. Okay, so now we're poised with hitting a good receiver. There's plenty of good receivers here. I'd be comfortable with Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I really like to start getting Bucky in round three, starting off with Bijan and Brian Thomas Jr. I think it's a great start. So I can get two receivers and be happy with that. Yeah, I think ideally this is a good start. Get two running backs and a receiver, and then I think there's just more available receivers that are great than more available running backs. So getting that value early is super important. So two running back, one receiver strategy definitely could play out. Trying to just test out different strategies in these mock drafts. Just to give you guys a visual of what it would look like drafting down the board in round 5, 6, 7, where it doesn't matter to get these type of players, where you want to avoid those bust picks and shoot for upside. Upside meaning Jackson Smith and Jigba, Garrett Wilson, who are both poised to get big targets. I'm gonna go ahead and avoid Mike Evans just because I already have Bucky Irving. That stack would be good. Just a little wary of not having Liam Cohen there, but putting a lot of stock into Liam Cohen. But I think his presence last year in Tampa definitely had an impact on how their offense performed. So we do have Jackson Smith and Jigba available. We have Terry McLaurin available. I'm comfortable with either of those, so I'm gonna go ahead and take Njigba. Although Jaden Daniels is still available, I could honestly punt on one receiver, get Jaden. Um, oh man, that's tough. Should I go with Jaden Daniels here in round 4? A little early, but I can get one receiver. Huh. You know, we're gonna go and do it. We're gonna take Jaden Daniels, to be our quarterback, round 4. I think it's fine value, taking quarterback this early, but yeah, Jigba goes, but I think you can still get Garrett Wilson. So I'm gonna bank on him to be available. If he's not available, it could get dicey. Marvin Harrison also there, so that's fine. But yeah, I think I'm comfortable with taking Jaden in round 4. Just a lot of versatility with the rushing upside, obviously. Think he'll probably regress a little bit in terms of statistical output, but I think he'll still be great this year. Could also be, I guess the team might be able to team might regress in terms of wins, but I think yeah, Daniels can replicate that performance. Garrett Wilson falls to me in round 5. Wow, I'm gonna take Garrett Wilson. No regrets there. So I got two receivers, two running backs, and my superstar quarterback. So I like my team so far. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the other teams. Meanwhile, we have a lot of picks in between ours. So definitely like this team a lot. Hurts, Jacobs, Chase Hill, and Marvin. You get a lot of star power there. Gibbs, Kyron. Okay, this is a solid team. McLaurin. Yeah, this is definitely a good team. I like my team obviously with Bucky and Bijan. This team with Kenneth Walker is interesting. Walker, I'm not too high on, but I do like the rest of the team a lot. So Lucas' team definitely stands out. This team is definitely a standout as well. Running backs are a little weak, James Cook and Hubbard, but I like Jefferson, like Bowers, like Burrow. So solid team. And down the board, I don't see too many reaches. I will say Kenneth Walker over Jaden Daniels, over Jackson Smith and Jigba, over Garrett Wilson is a little bit of a reach. For me, I think he's more in that round 5 where Amari Hampton is going, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton. I think that's where Kenneth Walker should be going. So a little bit earlier than I would have picked him. And then this team is pretty solid. Can't complain about that. I don't see any horribly weak teams. Maybe this one with Kamara aging a little bit. DJ Moore might be seeing less targets in the Ben Johnson offense. We'll see. Definitely like this team a lot. McCaffrey, Nico, Sutton, Lamar stands out. Yeah, these teams, no one's making big mistakes, I don't think. But I definitely think I'm in the tier of top 3 to 4 team with 2 good receivers and 2 good running backs. So I'm gonna go ahead and just look at potential running back receiver options. I like a lot of receivers in this tier, so I'm not gonna reach on one if I don't see one I like a lot. So Devontae Smith outlook for this year is going to be dependent on the offense without Kellen Moore. I think he'll put up similar numbers to what he did last year. So at this value, it's pretty fair. Judkins a little high because of the arrest. I could be suspended for a couple games. I'm not going to take him, but I get the point. I get the idea to take him at this range. It makes sense. In round 8, I think it's great value for Judkins. In round 6, you kind of want someone that will play for sure. Like Rashee Rice is falling a lot because of the impending suspension. So it makes sense why he's falling. You're not going to see too many receiver one options at this point. So we're gonna go ahead. This is a tough spot to be in, especially with the tight ends pretty much gone. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to take another receiver or running back option here. Um, I like Judkins, but I don't know if I want to take him as my flex immediately. Um, Rasheed Rice will be suspended. George Pickens is available. Let's go ahead and get George Pickens. I haven't gotten him in a draft yet. I think he'll be solid. Taking Pickens in a pass-heavy offense makes sense. He'll definitely not the best PPR player per se, but he'll get a lot of yards. So I think it's fine. Devontae Smith also a great option. Trayvon Henderson a great option here for the PPR people. So we're gonna go ahead and just take a bunch of flexes now. I think it makes sense to get like just your guys. If someone goes down with injury, Bucky, BTJ, one of these guys goes down with injury, it's good to have backup options. And I think taking QB or taking a tight end here doesn't really make sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my guys. So still have Rashee Rice available in round 7. That's where it gets dicey. You want to take him. So that's suspension. I could take him, but with the suspension, it's definitely tough. Judkins with the arrest, you don't know. At this point, I'm fine with Judkins taking him. So, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Quinshon Judkins despite the arrest in round 7. I think that's right on where he should be going. Who knows? Maybe he'll be suspended 1 or 2 games, maybe more. But I'll take him as my top bench spot. I like Jamison Williams, JMO for next round. I like Tet. I like Matthew Golden. All these guys are great options. So just stacking up the bench, making sure it's a strength of mine, and shooting for upside at the same time with Judkins. So yeah, Rome Odunze goes. I don't see any crazy reaches. Kelsey round 6 over Devontae Smith, over Mahomes, Judkins. Who knows if he has a QB? I think Kelsey went a little high there. I like him around 7 or 8 more. So kind of glad I didn't go with that. I'm not going to go next because I already have Jaden Daniels. But I think this team's solid. If any critiques of this team or how I'm drafting, definitely leave a comment. No one's going to see how other people are drafting, approaching the middle rounds of where the RB dead zone is and where there's maybe less options for top receivers. So definitely see if I'm missing anyone that I'm looking at here. But yeah, I love the receiver options here with Jacoby Myers, Debo Samuel, Kalushik here in PPR. So I don't mind waiting on receiver a little bit. There's a lot of options, and I already have so many, so it's not like I need too many. So I'm gonna go up and stack on running backs here. Henderson, obviously a great pick, but he won't be available. I don't believe. Yeah, Ellie Dow will be available at 78. So even with the auto picks, yeah. Jerry Jeudy, questionable QB offense. I don't think he'll put up the same numbers so at the end of the year last year, but I think he could be pretty solid again. Right over his draft, I think is fair. Chris Olave is definitely a little higher than what I think he's gonna produce. I think he should be dropped a little below in the 80 range where Debo is. Just because of the quarterback situation is so bad. And the injury history obviously with Olave. So we'll see how that plays out. Or I guess, yeah, plays out is what I meant. Jordan Addison is available. QB situation again is a little wary of JJ McCarthy. But if you like McCarthy's upside, then Addison here is definitely fair value. Oh wow, looks like Jameson Williams or Henderson was gonna fall to me. I like that a lot. I'd be comfortable with either. Considering I already have 3 receivers, you know what? I'll take Henderson. I'll go with both rookie running backs. One of them has to pan out, right? One of the Ohio State guys has to pan out. So yeah, I'm comfortable with Henderson at Judkins. And this team in general is looking pretty good outside of tight end, which I don't mind waiting on. Again, I'm going to punt on tight end and just go with like Jonnu Smith, Tucker Kraft, or Kincaid, or one of those guys. Jonnu Smith, I think, will get a lot more targets than he should in an offense, but definitely a talented player in fantasy, could pan out pretty well. I think Jacoby Myers is really the steal of this like section here, so I'm gonna try to get him. Matthew Golden and Tetor McMillan available. Do I go with that many rookies and go with Judkins, Henderson, and McMillan and or Golden, or do I go with a proven commodity in Debo Samuel? It's tough for sure. Um, I already have two rookie running backs. I have my receivers. Ted McMillan will be good here. You know what? I like Ted McMillan enough to be the number one option in Carolina by the end of the season or by the midseason mark. So I'm gonna go take him. A lot of rookies on my team. Really shot for the rookies, but um, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with going a rookie heavy bench and going for upside. Um, at least two of those three guys will pan out, I think. So I'm comfortable with taking all three of them, just getting all the rookies um, in this draft. Definitely want to take a different approach to every draft just to get a feel for how the drafts will go. So I'm comfortable with it. But Debo, Jacoby Myers, Keon Coleman, good options that are available. But yeah, we'll see how these drafts went. Kyler Murray goes round 10, pretty good value. Myers goes round 10, great value. Shakir goes. Okay. So lack of vets on my team, but I'm fine with that. Doesn't really matter in terms of fantasy. So most of the receivers that I liked are gone. Chris Godwin at this point, coming off the injury, is good value. But I do already have Bucky Irving, so I don't know how much I want to stack those two. Keon Coleman, less of a fantasy value, but I think could be a good breakout candidate. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the breakout candidate, Keon Coleman. I think it's fine value, nothing crazy. Yeah, in terms of sleepers, I don't see too many for me. Unless I go down the board, then I do like Bashal Tutin to take over the job in Jacksonville. We could go tight end here. I wouldn't mind it. Jonnu Smith is available, but there's a lot of tight ends available, so not really much want to go that route with Jonnu Smith still there. So Darnell Mooney, good flex piece. Jaden Reed could put up similar numbers to what he did this year, despite the addition of Matthew Golden. So I'm gonna go ahead and take either Pittman or Reed. I don't know, it's a tough spot to be in. I'm gonna take Pittman in hopes that there'll be a PPR machine again and he'll just be a consistent like flex spot. So we'll see if we can get Jonnu Smith in the next round. That would be a pretty ideal. And people are going auto picks, so Jonnu Smith might not be available. But I like what I'm seeing from my draft. People are going auto, but I just want to play out the rest of the draft. It's moving fairly quickly. So Colston Loveland is there. Not sure if I want to go that route and just punt on tight end entirely, but Tucker Kraft available. I might just take him in round 13 and start him. At this point, looking at Jordan Mason as a handcuff to Aaron Jones, Jaden Blue, the rookie. I'm not sure how high I'm going to be on him, but we can take Jordan Mason here, and then we can go with tight end in the next pick. Just because, also for defenses, I do want to address. I do like Denver defense for this year. I do like Baltimore defense as well. We'll just take Kraft now. Might as well. Our tight end. I like Kraft for this year. Definitely put it on tight end. But I'm comfortable with it given the rest of our team is so upside heavy. So looking at Justin Fields for next round just for the rushing upside. Gotta go rushing QB. Looking at defense as well. So if I can get Denver defense and they're playing a rookie Cam Ward, I'm taking Denver defense, although they might not be available. Yeah, I think they were selected in probably like a little earlier. Not that early. Yeah, the defense is starting to go. They went in round 12. That makes sense. Look at Baltimore defense, although they are playing the Bills week 1, so I don't love that. Go ahead and take another bench player instead. If there's anyone I see that I like a lot, I'll definitely take him. Definitely want QB receiver heavy. And I'm only going one quarterback, so definitely a risk. But I do like Braylon Allen as a handcuff. Really solid handcuff. I'll go ahead and take Braylon Allen. Why not? And then we'll just go kick our defense and round out our draft. So pretty happy with this team. I feel like there's no glaring weaknesses outside of maybe tight end. And I mean, flex will be fine. We have a bunch of rookie options. We have George Pickens. We're in a good spot. I think Eagles defense. And then we'll have a kicker, which we'll take whoever. But yeah, that's the rest of the draft. As the auto picks fill out, I'll just take like whoever at kicker, maybe Boswell. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a comment if you want to see more of these mock drafts, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.